are kind of interesting on the opposite side of this because they are a team that previously was pretty much on par with Renegades, right? They were pretty similar in that kind of tier 2 of Valorant
Mm.
in the early days. And one of these teams, Renegades, who were then known as Big Frames, got picked up. They're now Renegades, and all that that implies. And the other one is still Spot Up, is still kind of got less accolades to their name, and their results haven't looked that different. So as Renegades start here on the attack, I'm looking for Spot Up to have something to prove.
And as you see right there, this is very aggressive from Spot Up. They're taking a long control and immediately find a frag on Cypher, who's fallen down. As Winsum tries to take C control with the Omen Smoke, they abuse it brilliantly. C belongs to Renegades already. The Jet Smoke gives them a bit more freedom to move in the post plant. And if you take a look at the minimap right here, TJ, Phoenix is already quite far in it.
Yeah, very, very far up here. Nurfed is ready, though.
Oh, that's a shot
Nice
coming in.
reset. Kanpeki with one in is going to have a pincer maneuver. They do have that other player, the Raze, coming in on the flank, so they can make a retake, but oh my god.
That was wonderful to watch. That was wonderful to watch, especially the aggression they took there over C long with the Omen Smoke and the abuse, which definitely led to Spot Up having a bit of an A interest. And suddenly, a Renegades abuse it brutally. C side is empty, and there you go, first round.
Buy up from Renegades. There's obviously been a lot of focus on what you do during this round 2 after a pistol win. Renegades are doing the good old buy up here. Then they'll probably try and hold on to these SMGs, the Spectres they pick up this round in their round 3. See if they can cheat around off of them. They also do have a light armor Vandal, which I've definitely seen proponents of, as well as one player still sitting on the Ghost.
Yeah, light armor Vandal's always a bit of a risk in such rounds where if you drop it, this could become a very useful tool for the opponents. Something you see in other shooters as well, where there is this one hero player, in this case CP2, who obviously plays a frag-heavy character like Jet, who's certainly and
See
steady
again.
contacting.
There is a stack over to this side of the map from Spot Up. First contact will be Figment with this shorty.
And that flash does a good job.
Ooh.
It's still working fine. They find one frag after another, and suddenly C belongs with ease to the side of Renegades. No real problem for them. One opponent remaining in this course. I mean, Race got a shotgun for herself, but she first of all needs to find an angle and somebody with 1 meter in range.
We don't talk a whole lot about pistol frags normally, but
no.
Very clean attack from Renegades. The second time they've gone for that just lightning walk-up long tank. That's normally harder to do on gun rounds for pretty obvious reasons. You start being able to cover the full long C, but I'm always a fan of it on anti-eco or pistol rounds because, and I think people don't realize this, there is no pistol in the world that has a fun time holding against 5 pistol players or rifle players running up those long angles at you. This round, though, Khai, who is playing over towards that C site, will have a Phantom in hand. They're double stacking it, Figment and Khai both holding it. They have nobody actually directly on B site for Spot Up, playing retake there through the garage and from an early A push.
Oh, and this is interesting. That was very interesting. Cypher on the Renegade side actually got a cam deep down on short, which gave them a good bit of information that A short is not covered that aggressively. In the meantime, they once more abuse their own Omen Smoke. Jet just directly dives into it, and CP2 got the control all over B, but Kanpeki has a good control towards it. Takes him down. Winsum, though, counters it. Same goes for Nurfed, and it is Renegades once more having a bomb down, and pressure's quite big here on Spot Up in this situation.
Very interesting choice. They go full retake. They don't gain enough on the initial trade frags re-entering. I think too many of their players quick challenge onto the side. Now they just need to take the bomb site at a 1-player deficit.
That 1-player deficit doesn't really make it work. Oh, this is the shot you were looking for. The second one also works. And that right now means that Spot Up might just have a quite good situation against themselves. It is only the man Randy standing back in window, but nah, you're getting denied right here. And Spot Up find their first, as it looked fairly sinister. It's Renegades who fail to hold the B sites.
Bunny going huge there. Normally, those rounds go wrong because the second you lose sight, the second you lose B, it's really easy for Renegades to hold against the retake. There were two things I wanted to call out. One, Spot Up I felt made an initial mistake re-challenging onto the site as it was being taken.
Yeah.
The players aggressively pushing onto B didn't really have any defensive positions, so they just lost 2-1 trade. But then, Renegades stay on the B site. They don't play off-site retake, as a lot of teams do. Their entire team is just tightly packed on the B site and vulnerable to some good entries from Bunny.
This caused a lot of damage. Big job done here by Race over on Spot Up. Right-hand side, Omen awaits him. Bunny takes down CP2, and things look horribly dark already for Renegades. That means only Omen is alive. Nurfed can see where he can land with that. The bomb far away from himself. A few more frags left, right, and center would be nice to destabilize the economy of Spot Up. But now he's known, and everybody from Spot Up should be quite aware where this wonderful Omen is coming from.
Really, really cool aggression at the start of the round from Spot Up. I like I called it out on the previous rounds. They were playing super aggressive there. The reason you normally do that is just an information game. If your players die aggressive at A, you have time to get everyone else into retake position. So it's kind of a solve for the fact that the Cypher A strat is no longer possible, where you would just leave one Cypher there.
Right.
They have let this bomb kind of slip away, though. Which I'm a little worried about.
Yeah, if you take a look on the minimap right here, this is a bit tricky here in TJ, as Omen definitely can get on the site. And if he finds one more kill at least, this would hurt up the Spot Up economy.
Cover going out.
Not in a massive way, but definitely that could have long-term impact. Saying so, Bunny finds his fourth, and the quad kill makes the tie secured. Spot Up once more in it, and this is the thing, what you just mentioned perfectly. The aggression on A side is very well reasoned due to the fact that Spot Up have limited retake capabilities. We don't see a breach, for example. They also can't gain any extra information with a Soba. So take the room, which you're quite competent at, which is obviously over on A long, and then you have already one spot ruled out of the the equation.
Nurfed just managed to walk away with the spike there, though, and that was kind of wild to me. Spot Up didn't have enough players to fight for the spike initially, so they opt to play it incredibly safe. Nobody challenges into the Omen smokes, nobody stops him from retaking, they all just play safe across the map.
Joke's over. You're dead.
A very interesting choice here from Jet, picking up the shorty. Makes sense with
that's a cap.
And that's a frack. Khai down, and this definitely goes over to the C side. Ult is ready, and as Jet takes more and more control, so everything collapses here. Renegades in the driver's seat for the moment. That's just 3 versus 3 with minimal investment, seems to pay off for now.
You will not kill my ally.
Rez will come through here in the mid, so Renegades back with a player advantage, or tying up the player advantage, rather. And in for the B time.
Oh, this is too good. That's a free frag for Tucker. He elevates
My
himself.
God!
Bomb down, and Tucker with the triple. He saves the day over there on the B side, as it got somewhat complicated over here for Spot Up. The third round secured, and that by a man who just knows how to get a height advantage.
That was an incredible sequence from Tucker. Using the ulti very effectively, of course, but then the mobility. He's able to get up on top of the box, and there wasn't a call on the Renegades side that he was up there. You could see both players he actually killed seemed a little unaware of his positioning. Very good frags from Tucker. Very good use of the raised mobility. That's something I don't see enough players taking advantage of, even at this level. And now Renegades are at a round deficit, though they open this one. Ooh, Berghy going down early.
It feels a little bit for me like TJ, like at the beginning, and we're just in the first few rounds. Renegades, they played the same track and same track and same track again, but there's a way that Spot Up knows how to counter that.
Yeah, so we had all these Renegades rounds where they were just running down C. That obviously doesn't work versus actual guns. And everything since then, they tried one quick A tank. They may have been trying that this last round. But everything since then has gone flat out towards B.
Yeah, and there you go, flat out towards B. Tucker benefits from that in some way. CP2 takes also Figment, and every player on C has been eliminated. So, we rather change the route, go over to a different spot where Bunny though awaits. And I'm not quite sure if they have the awareness of Omen still waiting there along with that.
Yeah, he's in a
wonderful
weird
rifle.
position.
Yes.
There is a trap wire behind him, so they don't think there's anyone long, although he just threw out a smoke, so they might not know that. But there's a trap wire at the very bottom of long, so Renegades very likely think they're safe. Now they know.
No, 100% no. And as slowly and steady, the operator won't really help you with that. Spray comes down, he tries for the no-scope, but fails to make it work. The thing that Renegades did again and again was really play close up on those smokes, whether it's B or C. And again, they did the exact same thing. They opened up room for themselves with doing so, which is fairly interesting to me that we didn't see Spot Up, for example, counter that in any way with throwing utility in that direction or alternative just shooting through, which exposes you to some degree, but could give you 1 or 2 free frags.
They've shifted from that initial strategy where they were just playing pure retake on B, which I think was a result of the fact that Renegades keep going B. We first just had Tucker going B, now we have Tucker and the Omen of Bunny both here on this B side, ready to receive a push.
And there should be awareness right now from Renegades, as nothing has happened towards A long, that Spot Up changed something in their system. There must be some awareness, and you already see they abuse the room that has been gifted to them.
Yeah, so because of that double B stack, there's only one player on A. This is the good old Cypher hold back of sight, which does result most of the time in having to play retake A.
The retake capabilities are definitely existent for Spot Up. And as Omen has right now dived into heaven, Bunny knows how to counter that. Brilliant job by him, but they still have taken over the site. Cypher could hypothetically jump down, but I'm not quite sure if he would do himself a favor with that. And that spike is landing and hitting the ground swiftly. Spot Up just have to rely on their Phoenix. And if that Phoenix does the job over there on short, it might just open up a major opportunity. That is Randy falling, and this gives them now a quite nice chance to retake it. CP2, though, knows what he does, but that ain't it. Renegades fall on the A site. Quite good effort on getting onto it, but defending just didn't work.
You will not kill my ally.
Very good attack side. The problem I was worried about for Renegades on like round number 3 when they went B for that first time and got retaken against. They don't have anyone playing offside there again. The closest thing they had to it was Winsum playing inside the sewers. He got shut down, and then Renegades had nothing to guard against the flank, and they were able to just get pincered on site. I'd love to see them trying to spread out a little bit more from these sites post-plant, because oftentimes it feels like they're just holding where they stand as they take, which is resulting in these really weird post-plants that keep getting picked up by Spot Up.
Well, retaking works in both ways, to put it that way, right? If you try to retake, you might also, after the plant, try to retake room, which you had to give away to get on the site. Unfortunately, we haven't seen that happening so far.
See what?
I imagine, yeah, they smell it. They must know what's happening right now.
Flash over the top, prepped from Winsum. They can jet over this. Ooh!
There they come. Oh, Jet missing his opportunity, but there's a free op, and this is a lot of room taken just by Jet. Randy as well as Berghy come onto the site, flying and making that work. Looking at like stealing candy from a baby, and this could now be just a round Renegade should have never been able to achieve, but it's not done yet.
Kanpeki did find that kill in run it back, so there is room here, particularly as Tucker grabs one from long.
Oh, this is not it. Phoenix is still standing, and that just means right now that is 1 versus 1. That is already a gnarly situation for Spot Up. Could even work for them, but nope. It's Berghy saying, nah, we got this round for ourselves. And what a wonderful take over on C. Used every piece of speed they have in their back. And
you know, it was a really fun set tank. So I assumed this was going to be either a wall boost or a jet jump over off of the prepped flash from the Phoenix. But they used the curveball into a wall up for the entire team. Then the jet dashes to back of sight. CP2's dash was the one part of that that really didn't work, but even as he dies, not really finding anything in backside, he forces those backside
Joke's
players to
over.
focus on
You're
him
dead.
and gives the rest of Renegades all the time in the world to properly clean the front of site, then find the kills, then find the round. Oh, look at this.
Yeah, that's a lot of room. This is a lot of
It's a
room.
lot
And
of intel.
CP2.
Woo!
It seems like he played distraction for this, and CP2 said, "Thank you very much, buddy. I got them both." That is a site under control, as Nurfed already holds the flanks as he stands back on B. Cypher, you see on the minimap, is waiting patiently in window. Spot Up don't have a slight bit of a chance right here, and should most likely stick to the weaponry they have. Unfortunately, I don't have an overview about their economy right now, but one of the key aspects of saving right now should be just basically keep the weapons. We can invest next one. We'll make it work otherwise.
Renegades playing really aggressively again. It looked like there was even a pistol player on spot up, or on the defense. I think it may have been that Cypher. So I'm fascinated by the fact that Bunny hadn't opened this round, because that economy doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense. If they can steal it away from him, that is roughly 8k in the bag, counting armor and utility buy-up. So it's a major loss. But it looks like Bunny will be able to hold it up, and Spot Up will be able to buy this next upcoming round.
I have to say,
it's gonna be broken. They'll have it now. They're gonna need to throw some money across. If Spot Up lose this 3-round loss bonus, they'll be able to scrape together another buy, but it will be kind of in a similar level of light armor and stuff. So rough from Spot Up regardless. Renegades on the opposite side now have enough to get away with losing a round, maybe even 2, depending on their bonus thing. So this is really skewing towards Renegades, just economically speaking.
that's early damage dealt on both sides, but Renegades come out on top with that. As Nurfed is on his own in Garage, he basically gifts his life there. Thought this would be a creative idea, but Tucker knows what to do. And that Spot Up bringing themselves in a quite good situation. Renegades only with a Cypher and Jet here.
Tucker's Raze ultimates have been huge now twice. And this puts Renegades on the back foot. They do have money, of course, to lose this round, so it's not everything. Currently working their way out onto A. They'll be camera spotted, so this will be a 3v2 retake. All the Spot Up members coming from Defender's side, which makes it a little bit easier for the remaining members of Renegades.
Very good points. As though CP2 immediately falls, Tucker is making it all work with being as fast as possible. That's the 4th frag he gets on Randy. And Renegades...
Tucker's an absolute nutcase.
I mean, he's all over the place. This man is not to be stopped
really,
at all.
Really high mobility race, which is really exciting to me. That's the mark of incredible race play, is when you can be just using those jump packs for maximum mobility, and you're pre-nading zoned areas. That nade that grabbed a kill on site looked a little bit random, but it's the only hold angle that a Renegades player could have been playing against the Spot Up entry. That line is the only one that gives you vision directly into the push through the main entrance from a defender spawn.
Yep.
So it was a very smart nade from Tucker, and the reward for this is that Renegades are looking a little bit rough on the economy front.
Absolutely.
They'll be down to a pretty shattered buy after this round.
Both operators failing their operation over there on C, as Owen was a little bit elevated on that wall that Sage has gifted to him. And again, it's the contact over there on top of B. Renegades have to be aware that A site, or more likely A long, was usually under control in their past, but they know how to deal with that. Tucker is down. A minute left on the clock for Renegades to do something about it.
Oh, that's so many members that they just spotted. And you may have all the intel in the world, but when 2 people are quick peeking you A long, it's not really doing you a lot of good. Renegades realize that. And they'll make the adjustment. They, of course, know that there were 2 people to quick peek A long, so they're very fast over here to see. Oh, good hold.
Yeah, that was a shoulder width too far, to put it that way. And as Nurfed is holding it quite Go ahead.
Very clean push. This is the same push we saw Renegades do at the start of rounds multiple times. Berghy holding all the way back with the sniper rifle. Oh.
That's a little nasty. Nurfed falls, who had a quite nice angle, but Winsum rather falls back, used the molly, but here's an ult coming his way. That's gonna be denial, as Winsum once more holds the side, or more likely holds garage quite well. He's getting wallbanged.
Did he just get spammed down?
Absolutely.
Oh my god, he's got 1 HP.
Well, 1 is enough in this case. That has been the sound. And so it should be just a round for Renegades, as I say so. 26 points of health, don't make it impossible, but it's a pistol shot. It's a classic that seals the deal. Renegades in the lead. And this is the biggest back and forth and back and forth and back and forth you could really ask for. You see it right there on the scoreboard. There's not like a really longer streak, except that free round one we had from Spot Up. And they always adapt it. They always change it up, and it seems like both can't really find a way into it.
And this was the game that we were promised. Renegades and Spot Up had previously, you know, traded wins in a lot of these Valorant tournaments. Spot Up did better than the Renegades roster, then referred to as Big Frames in the T1 Invitational, for instance. So it's not a case of some no-names playing a big org. These two teams have gone pretty even previously. And right now, Renegades are having it taken to them.
The Renegades, in my eyes, have a bit more pressure onto themselves, with now representing this name.
They only have... so there's a lot of pressure from Renegades onto this A side. And Spot Up are playing this retag. There's a segue.
Oh.
Figment's all alone here, and he has no vision on long, just a trap. Oh my god!
No.
What a great kill, though!
Yeah, that was so devastating. He was looking for the trap wire desperately, but CP2 says, I don't need any of my teammates. A site belongs purely to me, and Omen up in heaven. That's a quite good outpost. Bomb is going to be taken out. There's still 2 slows on the Sage, which definitely stalls the opponent's aggression. They don't have any fast movers. As I say so, that is the operator making the job. Nurfed though falls, and that is Heaven eliminated. Next one is coming in, and nope, CP2 can't do much more than that. Spot Up tied
Kanpeki.
up again.
Kanpeki, a constant anchor in these rounds. Always here on the late rotate, ready to come in and clean things up. It's him and Tucker who are making these rounds possible. I do want to call out an interaction we've seen multiple times on that A-site entry. They're using CP2 on this Renegade side as an entry. Every single time that there's a solo Cypher wire dedicated to holding, he's just dashing right through it.
Yep.
And that breaks the wire now, which means CP2 is able to get so far into the site, and Figment knows that somebody has entered, but can't deal with it. If somebody had walked through that wire through a main, he would have had all the time in the world to aim against it, be ready for the peak. But CP2 comes through that wire so fast that they're already getting flanked by the time they realize there's a threat because of the audio cues.
Well, now it's about time to see what Spot Up can do here in the pistol. It's now them switching to the aggressors, and the mentioned CP2 falls quite early in the round. The B side weakened a slight bit. And now there has to be a decision to make. Do you directly abuse the room that you have received? Do you directly just try to make that work? Yes, they block the site partially, make the Omen smoke work, and suddenly a good part belongs, but they could just go for a link, and they find frags left, right, and center. Spot Up, low HP though overall, and this means though that it could be, hypothetically speaking, that could be Nurfed still doing something.
Very low HPs across the board for Spot Up. They do still have decent HP on Tucker, who has, of course, been a star. But Nurfed has a 1v4 no matter what way you spin it.
Oh, that doesn't work. Bunny. That's an easy frack. Yeah, that happens when you sneak onto the site. Your body visible very, very early on. And Spot Up. I love the split over there on B, especially the Omen smoke that happened back to guide them over on A-Link. That got them around.
I was a little bit worried about this Spot Up T side because their defense had been a little bit weird at times in terms of their rotations.
True.
So far, so good. Very, very quick movement, very, very quick adaptation to the round as it happens to them. They got that early pick, went B, and then were able to adjust and go A when it became the better option. That's a lot of what I look for in good attacking signs, is that adaptability. Having a clear shot caller who's saying, okay, we'll work with what we got. B site retake from Renegades. Nobody on the site itself. There is a trapped wire that'll be shot out now, and that should cue the retakes, particularly as they hear this utility.
Yeah, and I feel like we have a little bit of a deja vu with that setup what we're having.
They're just
A
going to hold these
problem.
guns.
Yeah, accept those guns, but a bit of a problem if they would have went A could have been the big stack that Renegades placed on that site. But they have decided it's a little too clear and empty around here. We'll put the bomb just right down. And there the frags are coming. Renegades actually make it work quite well, but nope. Spot Up brings it back in the right kind of way. The submachine guns could have had the opportunity, but Renegades trapped over there on the narrow pathway to B. No chance overall. And if we take a close look here, TJ, onto the money of Renegades, the 9-6 is pretty much inevitable.
Yeah, I'm really impressed by Spot Up there knowing to hunt Renegades. A lot of people would have been tempted on a round like that to back off, but Renegades had bought up into it, lots of SMGs, which is why I called they should save those guns. I frankly think they lingered in that A choke point a little bit too much. And now they're broke, but when you can hit shots like that with a Sheriff,
ouch.
guess it doesn't matter. Just got railed. Welcome to the Wild Wild West.
That was a one tap into the abyss and no chance. Renegades have a quiet, nice situation up ahead of them if Spot Up
Full B stack, 3 players.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? That they have a very good opportunity, especially with the weaponry they have. But that's unlucky for CP2. The man is fully blind. And this could have worked for Berghy, but it simply isn't enough.
Oh, Winsum!
But that's the thing. They make it work.
You nutcase! I am in awe. Winsum goes huge on the site for 2 frags. The flank comes in from mid. And all of a sudden, Renegades work out a pistol round off a B stack.
The entry wasn't it? The entry was so lovely, and suddenly the B side, it all was so chaotic and hectic. I didn't notice myself where every piece of action was happening. And Spot Up lost a round, unfortunately, to themselves. We see they're a little bit limited on their economy. Same goes, obviously, for Renegades, but they ended up a little bit better with the weaponry. As we see a Bulldog over on Spot Up, Renegades made their mind up.
Renegades, I think, wanted to play this a little bit slower. They get early pressured A, Spot Up pulling a little bit out of the Renegades' attack book themselves. They've got enough vision, I think, to feel pretty safe pushing here. But because of how much time they've taken, Spot Up are going to back up, play the map. They still have a minute on the clock. They know that they've triggered a rotate there, so they can explore the rest of the map. Normally, these rounds, frankly, end up at B.
Sure.
I'm expecting that to happen here as well.
I mean, TJ, if we take a look at it right now, they would hypothetically have a bit of a problem with ending up at C due to the trap wire Cypher has placed back in garage and C long. And so
they just saw the Cypher cam from B.
Yeah.
So they know there's at least vision on that site, but that also indicates that there's limited presence.
Oh, and that was for the smoke. That's nasty. And
Full
this
blood.
is now the bump. Taking a totally different path. It works for Figment. Randy has no chance, but the 10 HP don't make it easy.
He gets it!
TP2! That is the free
I don't
frag
know.
that should never gotten.
I don't know how he did that. Watch this quick flank, though, coming in from defender main.
This is so dramatic, and you see Winsum taking down Tucker. Renegades is not done yet. I Spot Up, got the bump.
They
in
have an
quite
AWP to hold
decent
long.
angle. Take a look at that. This is so good right now by Omen. He could find that one. Bunny, though.
My God.
Fall, and same goes for Figment. Renegades know what they're doing about this round.
Very, very well played by Spot Up. And then Renegades just walk back in for the retake. And all of a sudden, they're earning their paychecks. Really well played by Berghy in particular, having picked up that AWP. Knowing how to slow down the player in Cubby, just pin him in that corner. Then you start seeing Omen utility coming through. I assume it was a call. Hey, Bunny's pushing in on the flank through attacker main. And he does a 180, finds that shot, trusts his teammate to dig out the Cubby player, and the round is theirs. Incredible communication and great team play.
That goes there.
That was really insane team play there in the end. Looked like it could have been all done and dusted, but Spot Up got a little afraid there in the end. And this costs them not only the round, but...
Is it high noon? I'm unclear.
Oh no.
Zescht is full sheriffs. What do we do?
I didn't even play Overwatch once in my life, and now you're coming at me with high noon. I mean, it might be the case. We saw that those pistols can make it work quite easily. Renegades defend the seaside though quite well at the moment, but it is high noon. At least Randyysavage feels that.
I'm just laughing at Tucker's pockets being so big. He's got so many explosives in them. That's a spike plant on the round, and that's probably, frankly, a win already. Spawn Up still find more. Tucker going huge to find another pick. Very nice eco round from Spot Up.
It was. Caused Renegades a good bit here. 2 players that have been sent into the grave. And so Renegades bringing a knife. But you see right there, the first half is similar to the second. They always swap up so massively, and both of the teams, they can't really get a grip on their opponent. They're swapping up, and they're being so dynamic in a way that it ends up with them swapping rounds left, right, and center.
Renegades, I've been missing the team play they showed on that last gun round for pretty much the whole game. It's looked a little bit disconnected. So I'm really encouraged to see the little bits of team play. I believe it was between Winsum and Berghy, those 2 top frags. So give me more of that, please.
Joke's over.
Here on the
You're
defense,
dead.
they are leaving 1 person here at the B side. It will be Berghy with this operator in hand.
And I mean, he definitely has an awareness where Tucker is. That's for sure. Yep. Has been forced away. That little boom bot knows what it does. Renegades in the
They're
meantime.
going to go on that. They know this is an
You will
awkward
not
angle now.
kill my ally.
Oh, but they're getting flanked. That cancels everything. Look at Nurfed.
Yeah, this is very good by him, but they have a sort of awareness. He takes such a beautiful angle. Figment is eliminated. And the smoke goes at the right place, limits the movement. The Molotov even joining, but this could be the end of the life of Omen. No, it is actually Bunny taking him out. 1 minute left on the clock here, TJ, and take a look at the positioning of Spot Up. They're still somewhere even close to spawn.
I'm really impressed by the speed of rotating down from Berghy. He managed to get off in that A side instantly, which he had to do because there were no more good AWP angles left. And he's real quick there on B, holding a long angle down mid, knowing where the operator is most useful and quick rotating to it, but he drifted away. And that will be a take, probably planted for mid here.
Seems like we're back to the back and forth here. As again, Spot Up
TP
takes
out,
around, but
no sight tank. They're just going to play retake from mid here. This is what I was calling Renegades to do. Spot Up's main worry is if there is a tank that comes out to mid. They know there is a Sage up, though. That Sage wall could also be trouble.
very true. That could be a little troublesome. You hear the defuse, but I mean, a Tucker. He's shooting flies with a cannon in that one, and Renegades only down to Berghy, who...
Sage wall was spent.
I mean, he should realize that there's no real chance of this. And that brings us to 9-9. I don't lose the feeling here, TJ, that we'll see an overtime coming our way.
Yeah, it does feel like that kind of game, Zescht. I'm trying to work out, I don't know if you spotted it, where Berghy spent the Sage wall. I think it might have been a panic over on the A side as he was
If it was
leaving
A short. If I remember correctly, it was A short because I saw Jet
Right.
boosted up on it.
That makes sense now.
Yeah.
Then that's a really good heads-up play. That was the only thing that could have caused problems. Otherwise, that was just an unstoppable plan. And I wish more teams did this, where you throw down the spike and cover it just from mid, because that is a dangerous hold if mid can be retaken. But in a round like that, where you know Renegades have no forwards map control, their like only holds are the back defender side, it is just unbreakable.
It is. CP2 having a good opportunity right there. You knife! What is that free K from CP2? As he just suddenly fades away from Silong. He was basically kissing Phoenix in this. Give him a good night kiss, and the other one's also lights out.
Where was that all game, CP2? That's just ended the round right there. It's over.
Oh, goodness gracious. The last thing you see before you die. This is the wonderful Jet.
CP2's face.
Yeah.
4 kills.
Oh,
My
nasty.
God. And that was one of the nastiest 3K spray downs I have literally ever seen. I've casted probably 5 years of Counter-Strike and other FPS by now. That was insane. Able to redirect the spray, beautiful spray control, but also the speed at which he got up there and not using dash, holding the dash so that he could make his escape from Cubby. Really, really bold of him to run all the way down there and count on the fact that nobody on spot up heard him getting into positioning.
Absolutely lovely to watch. And Renegades, they hopefully got a lot of confidence off of that. Right now they're defending A over there as good as
They
possible.
don't know Nerf.
Bunny in the meantime, oh, Nerf. He finds 2. That could be more to come, but the flashbang, it just gets him fully blind. This is once more just pure slaughter over there on A long. And Spot have not 100% decided yet if they're taking the A site, but they would be ready for that.
That's the second time in 2 rounds that Spot Up have been murdered by somebody hiding in a cubby. Nerf not going quite as huge. Renegades previously have always gone A and then fallen back. Here they'll properly invest in it now, Tucker. Ooh.
Oh, this is so
My
good by
God.
Berghy. Yep, that was the high mobility that did not work out for Raze as that one blast charge landed up in the box. And this suddenly limits your movement. Randy tries to see something over off that cage, but at the moment, no vision at all. But this is quite decent. This is quite possible for Spot Up at that point in time. Berghy, though, can rely on Randy. And this gives Renegades another round. It is a 2-point advantage. And it's 2 more to go after this one.
Very well played. I'm actually really impressed by these last couple rounds from Renegades. That retake was just pixel perfect. And Berghy, again, you were talking about Raze's high mobility. I want to give a shout out to Berghy's understanding of positioning. I highlighted this in the previous round where he was AWPing and he rotated all the way off of A into the B hold. There, he's on A playing so far back, finds the first frag on the short entry, then goes, okay, they're going to quick challenge me from sight, finds this safe hold all the way from defender entrance, and gets himself another quick frag. Incredible aim, but it's the good positioning that made it possible.
Yep, that's what makes a good impact player. I mean, usually Berghy, not the kind of guy who's on top of the scoreboard, and yet he proves his worth just right here. As in the meantime, a quick look on the B side tells us it looks tantalizing for Spot Up, but they have once more not really made up their mind. This could be the same setup we've seen again. Split wall there, Omen Smoke about to come in. B is definitely their goal.
Well, entry successful so far. Plant for mid again.
Oh no.
Tucker just playing whack-a-mole real quick. Can't find the frag. He'll get out. So the hold
That
from
one's
mid. This time, though, watch the flank. Nurfed is there. This is so much harder as a result.
It is. And Renegades feels it. Take a look at that right now. This remains only a low HP race as Tucker falls. Winsum is feeling it in the last few rounds. And Winsum is the guy who comes at you with a nearly 260 average combat score per game. Insane individual. And that pays off. This is round number 12 for Renegades. And it seems like they finally found themselves exactly what they do on this map. They really need to do exactly what they're doing right now. This is a map they really don't like, statistically speaking. They play it very often, but they're not ending up too good on it. This could be finally the feeling of success.
I'm very impressed by these last few rounds in a row. It's now been 3 rounds in a row where they've just completely countered the spot-up strategies. Initially, it was a lot of aggression down those long A and C. That round, it was aggression down long A and C, both combining so they could quick flank the mid-hole. So Spot Up need to slow down the rest of their map play, try and punish that aggression. Surprise, surprise, of course, this round, Renegades don't push anything. They play safe across the map.
Omen as well as Zescht denying any access for Spot Up at the moment. As Raze patiently waits behind the blue bloom that is just waiting in front of him.
Very good change-up for Renegades to play this passive. Spot Up haven't given away any map information, though, and this is the downside, of course, of playing this passive. Renegades don't know that Spot Up have been camped down outside A for literally an entire minute at this point.
Yeah, if that's going to make the change, it seems like we're going to find that out fairly soon. Tucker is limited with where he wants to go anytime soon. And that means Berghy might just need to do the job, but this man has to hide. The flashbang from out on top is brilliant. Winsum has his ult ready and immediately falls. As now that A side seemingly does the same, it also falls down. Renegades can't control it for the moment. Randy joins the site. Randy does more! And this means Spot Up might just have made it fail, but Tucker is there as well. This is going to be the 1v1 race versus Phoenix. It's going to be the first match of the evening.
Get the plants safe, but he has to. No time left.
Ah.
Oh!
Oh, Tucker. That is what was needed. You saw the timer was ticking and ticking and ticking. But Spot Up make the 10th one work, and Renegades might start to sweat anytime soon.
Very, very well played by Spot Up. I was talking about their limited aggression. I want to highlight that round. Had Renegades pushed more aggressively down C, they would have realized at any point during the first minute that they could have started flanking over towards A. But they played it safe and still almost won the round. A lot of that on-site trading was good. The defensive positioning across the map, of course, meant that they didn't have a flank for retake, though. So if Renegades ever lost complete control of the site, they were just going to lose. Kept having to push in, kept having to re-challenge. That meant it was just aim battles all the way down. Tucker wins those.
Miss Bunny, though, takes a lot of room here towards the middle.
I know
Figment joins the party, and Renegades, the soldiers are falling, and with that piece of information gained, B is just the Christmas present that is waiting for them, except Berghy has too much to say about it, talking about, unfortunately, whiffs his shot, and his operator most likely won't be saved. As I say that, could be just his hero moment right now.
He's had a couple of them. Berghy, incredible on this all game long. Now would need to go 1v3. He does have a Resurrect, but I don't think he'll be investing it in this round.
Nope.
I talked previously about the AWP being worth about 8k if you count utility buy-up plus armor. That's obviously the majority of the money you can have in Valorant. So, given that they're on round point, or map point rather, Renegades would much rather keep the operator up, wait for the next one. If we're headed to overtime, Spot Up need to win the next one as well. But I think that's doable. They'll have the bank account to do it. And they found a weakness, it seems, over towards the A site, Zescht.
It seems like they finally found it. And the final round before an overtime is one of the most exciting things to watch in FPS. Because it's always a lot of mind games and how much you're absolutely not letting you affect that. With Renegades...
I didn't realize this. Renegades don't have enough to full buy on Berghy. He's on light armor. Same true for Randyysavage. So they're going to be actually... They're going to be a step down in terms of weaponry and utility.
True. Well, for Berghy, it doesn't matter too much because if he
Quick
whiffs
A
his
again.
shot, he's most likely dead again. But yeah, they're pushing A at the moment. Renegades should have some sort of awareness for that. As Tucker already took short, Spot Up remains there. They're not falling back, at least for the moment.
So a moment to reset. Renegades have two players on directly the opposite side of the map, all the way at C. They're just not going to be relevant to this round. Very good Omen smoke there on B. Drags away one of the Renegades players at A. But they don't punish it. Spot Up instead drift out of A, kind of poking in mid. There's a Cypher cam there, so they have vision, make sure they won't get flanked. Now's around the time where you'd return towards A with that added vision.
Oh,
But they've got to go fast.
Renegades.
Here we go.
This is becoming a problem right now, and there comes the
For
ult.
the map.
Oh, Nurfed is even going to be naded out of that position. Man is on 45 points of health, and this got to be a play by the book coming in from Renegades. There's nothing to lose, and they're setting themselves up right now over there in front of A. But the utility, it's also there in favor of Spot Up. They can deny them for a good bunch. As you see, Cypher holding the back of A long. The other three are focused over there on CT and Heaven. And this means there's a wall, there's a revive, everything could be working right now. CP2 falls, and this could be the absolute entry into overtime right now for Spot Up. As Berghy finds one, it all seems to fall. It crumbles, and Renegades, that's the overtime for you.
I don't believe it. Renegades got 2 rounds to secure the game. And they lose the A side twice because they play so passively. And that's a complete inversion of what got them there. I was in favor of it when it was, oh, we're going to change things up for this one round so you don't start adapting to it. But Spot Up never adapted to the early aggression. And then they benefit massively from the fact that Renegades stopped doing it. Spot Up take all the time in the world to set up this take on A. They should be punished for it, but because Renegades aren't pushing anywhere else on the map, Renegades have no clue until the full set take comes through,
This goes here.
and they're left all alone.
This should go.
I want to see Renegades go back to that pushing style that got them all the way to this final round, take control of the map, figure out what Spot Up are doing, and then be able to rotate much earlier.
That's Renegades. Got a lot of pressure on them. After looking...
3-stack A.
Yeah.
Because they get this aggression out from Bunny, they know that it's not the Lightning A-Tech we've seen previously. Now leave Bunny posted up and push the rest of the map. Make sure you have a defense on B where Spot Up are headed. They actually send the Rays forward to get posted up there from Renegades. The rest of the team will now rotate across the map over towards B and C. Very well played.
The room they have taken there towards B into Garage is just extremely worrying right now. And also, with that cam being destroyed, they also know where Ray stands. B site, that's what their GPS tells them pretty much to go to. As they wait in front of the smoke and as they wait to make that one work, it's just about the Phoenix flashbang that comes in. Winsum makes that one look easy. Randy joins the team, and as they trade Phoenix, oh, the collateral! That's good for Bunny, but he falls! And Renegades, oh no, they are the ones who are still making that one look easy. They are the ones who are just getting there easily on the C site. And now just defending, it's playing for long.
Spot Up playing all the way for long, and that Raze we highlighted being left all alone at A. He's now the only player left to make a retake happen. He's got to move very fast.
Yeah.
Chase out these players all the way at the edge of long. I don't see how he can do it, frankly.
No.
Tucker.
And
he's been a star. This just isn't doable.
And you know, if he would have a nade or a bot, I would say it's possible he can rule out positions. As he finds the frack on Randy, this ain't done yet, but CP2 knows how to respond. Renegades in the lead by a round.
I thought for sure that was going to be it. I was like, so ready. The big pop-up play from Tucker, but he can only find one. Very good play. Just using the gun advantage, player advantage, forcing a 1v2. And Renegades are now up against the wall, despite their 3-round lead at one point.
And that 3-round lead looked very convincing, TJ. It looked like that could be a story told. But they know the setup. Nerf falls to Bunny. Spot Up once more, enjoying the benefits of taking the A site. As now, it's 2 rifles holding their only on A. That's the operator on Berghy. Winsum has shown us what he's individually capable of a good bunch of times. Now got to show that he's the king. He's the one who knows how to play Phoenix properly right here on the server.
Tucker is really aggressive here. Renegades defense, only 2 players there on the A site. That's, of course, more than we've seen previously, but they're not pushing anywhere else again. So they don't have any intel to know that all of Spot Up are right here outside.
As Figment moves backwards, it's 35 seconds. Berghy absolutely blinded, has to move back and does it in time. And as we say, and as we see it, Bunny with his third frag already, Renegades only down to their jet, only down to the capability of seeing a clutch happening. But CP2 should not be capable of making that one work too easy, as there are too many obstacles in the way. That's going to be nothing to work with. CP2 falls, we're back tied up. Another OT coming our way right now.
I am in awe. Okay, this game keeps going now. I want to see a little bit more aggression now from both defending sides, to be honest. CP2 and Co on the defense were not especially strong at pushing through those A-C longs. Instead, you would see a lot of aggression out here through mid, and it does look like Tucker is getting prepped to do exactly that.
Mid control early comes in from Tucker. The leading force, or spot up in most of the cases, the one with the highest average combat rating. And so they took their time. Cypher remains over there on A, tries to gain a bit more control.
But look at how much information they've just gotten because of that mid shove.
Mid is empty.
Yeah. They know exactly where this spot up side has to be. Or Renegades, sorry, CP2.
All good, they all rotate around. Buddy finds Winsum though early on. And as both Omen and Zescht start to dismantle the opponent force, Berghy knows how to reply. That's Bunny down as well. Man equalized it is, and the bomb has hit the ground. Spike. And not only that, Winsum back alive. This could be quite well done here by Renegades. As they defended from long, the bot is going to be eliminated, and only 2 more positions right now spot up can come from. That is... Berghy missing the shot a bit. It's only a few pistols. And that means Figment got to do it all. With that Cypher, who has nothing left in the tank, it's not over yet, but hiding seems to be the better option, especially as right now the flank comes in from Jet. And as he taps the bomb for the first time, Cypher wiggles around and knows where he stands right here. As CP2 comes, says that was easy.
I want to call out one of the small things you could see there, just because it's something people can bring into their solo queue games. The players who are playing off-site there are getting pinged on the bomb on the map by the players who are dead. All they're doing is just they're pulling up the map, they're clicking on the bomb, and that drops a ping on it, and it's directly in vision for the players who are off-site, so they can line up their crosshair as they slide around the corner. Very good for playing post-plants. Not necessarily what won the round there, certainly, but some good little tech.
And as CP2 won the round, Renegades again with an advantage. I don't know about you, TJ, but a little bit of a deja vu right here when I take a look at the minimap.
Yeah, very defensive hold from Renegades again. Spot up to take the attack will be shoving towards A. And just as Renegades have found their home towards C, Spot up have found a weakness over towards A that they've continued to be able to exploit. I really want to see some adaptability around this from Renegades again. If they were pushing somewhere CB, just anything, they would know this is what was coming through and they would be able to have some quick aggression. But they're not. Luckily for them, Spot up don't full commit to that A tank. Instead, withdrawing, playing with their options. And now the aggression comes through. Watch that shove from Renegades at C long.
Yeah, that's crucial. It seems a little bit like, wait, A, they were not responding on A at all. There must be something wrong there. So we rather switch up our strategy a little bit. Spot up with 35 seconds left on the clock. The pressure is getting a little bit bigger, but the B side seems to belong to them at this moment already. The bomb goes down. And so we see Renegades with a fairly tough obstacle up ahead of them. Nobody has lost any HP. Everybody got a good bit of utility still left back for them, but Bunny takes down Nurfed. And I say, oh, just come for the double doors. Winsum at least takes Khai. That's one frag. Spot up still with the man advantage. Randy tries to get there on the site, but they're waiting all deep down mid. And this poor fella has nothing to block the vision, as I say so. Jet comes in, and he's sticking it. He's keeping on sticking it. Did he make it half? I'm not quite sure about
Tucker!
it. Winsum takes him down.
Very well played. Now Winsum's turn on the defuse. He'll be spammed down, and just like that, we're tied up again, 14-14.
You mentioned adaptability.
I'm not sure if the B shove was what I was expecting. It was like a splitter cell B shove, Zescht. Nobody, as you called out, took like any damage in the entire first half of that round.
Yes, this should do.
Not even one scratch.
Full faith from Renegades that they'd be able to retake the B site. Spot up, we've seen be very, very good at playing that off-site mid-hold. Now Renegades on the attack here.
Renegades very patient about it. Different to spot up is when their aggression, they take a lot of room early on. I mean, A-Long is the best example for it. This time around, they see or try to find out how their opponent reacts, but not a single sign of life for spot up for now.
They're so slow here, Renegades. Not taking any risks. Somehow Spot Up have an inkling this is where they're headed, possibly just because of the amount of C-tags that have come through previously. As Renegades hit B, there will already be full defense.
Yeah, and that was brilliant. That was a brilliant Omen flash coming in. 3 frags that have now been gifted, as Randy as well as Nurfed are doing a quite good job about it. CP2's flank is eliminating Bunny. But the bomb has not found its purpose yet. Defended by Zescht at the moment. As Khai eliminates an angle to come from. And CP2, I mean, this man can jump as high as he wants to. But as Cypher falls, it is only CP2 to make the difference. As he tries to go through, has already entered the site. His smoke is gonna fade any second, and Khai just makes that one work. Spot Up, the first time in his overtime, taking the lead. And, well, let's say their T aggressions have been quite fun and also successful.
Their T aggressions entirely dedicated towards the A site until that last round. Maybe that was what broke it. Renegades could handle the A hits. The second it goes B, who knows what's going on. Spot Up now have the aggression and they're stacking A though, so we may be returning to normal. I've said previously, I want to see Renegades on that defense. Push a little bit more aggressively across the map. They did look it. They tried to pressure mid at the start of this round. Bunny instantly rips Winsum's head off, though. And my advice is off to a terrible start, as Spot Up have a player advantage and an overtime advantage here.
Very much indeed. I mean, you tried with the advice. In this case, I think they don't take it.
Thankfully, I don't think they're listening to me. Can't be blamed.
You know, you can't be. It's not your fault at all. In the meantime, B-site, the main objective for Spot Up, at least, is what it looks like for the moment. Holding the flank right now, that's going to be Cypher, but they already attack on B. They're already entering. And we have seen Berghy individually stepping up with that AWP. Pardon, that's the operator. Either way, Khai swapping out of the site.
Oh!
And they can have the room. We have a perfect angle on that bomb. And as that spike has been put on the ground, Berghy will start with the defuse, but immediately aborts. Problems are starting to rise for Renegades.
It's the mid-hold again. Renegades have baited out a lot of utility.
And there it comes, Tucker!
Tucker!
Oh, left, right, and center. CP2 is the last one who could make a difference in it. But here it ends. And Renegades, they have been on a 3-map loss streak. Make it a 4th now.